Is it working? Hello?
Maybe.
Maybe? Hello? Everyone there? I don't think anyone's here.
Yeah, nobody's here.
There's just ghosts around this
Yeah.
area. Yeah. But, hello everybody! And welcome to episode 4 of Ghostly Gossips.
Yes.
Why would your watch streak reset?
Because Spartan's gonna miss a stream.
Spartan? Are you going to miss a stream? Blink once for yes, blink no for twice. Twice.
No, for twice.
And that's how you know my brain short-circuited right there.
Yeah.
Live of my brain short-circuiting.
Yeah, we're professional streamers. And this happens.
What you calling a professional? I ain't no professional.
So you're an amateur.
I'm not no amateur. I'm a derpy.
What are you? Derpy. But where is that in the scale from professional to amateur?
It's not even on the scale. It's like way off to the left. It broke.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, I don't consider myself amateur either, but also not professional because I don't make fucking money off this shit.
I mean, I do, but not enough to survive.
Man, maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Then I'd be doing this full time. Yeah, and then you guys would have to see my ugly mug like almost every day. And then videos of me on YouTube almost every day, and it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Why is this ugly one here? Well, that would mean everyone's watch streak is reset then, if that's the case. So everyone would start off with a fresh slate, but the channel points should stay.
Yes.
Because I just hit that little switch. But yeah. We got completely sidetracked.
What?
When don't we? Let's be honest here.
Yes, we always get sidetracked. I mean, come on, we got sidetracked with that final story last time where it was just like, okay, we got to determine whether or not this person's lying.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't even read their first story because of how poorly it was written.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, no, wait. Which buildings am I doing today? Okay. So yeah, apparently these buildings are reportedly haunted in Portland. We got Kelly's Olympian, the Ravens Manor, and Dan and Lewis's Oyster Bar. I know one of those places I am definitely not going to. And it's not because it's haunted.
Is it the Oyster Bar?
It is. I don't like seafood.
You know, I just realized we forgot to do something.
Did we?
And yes, we
Oh.
forget it on a regular basis.
Oh, well, I
We
just
have
figured.
to introduce ourselves.
Hey, that's what mine is. Well,
Mine are technically G cups for the model.
oh, for my model, I don't know what mine are. I'd say double D's. At least that's what they're supposed to be, or close to it.
I just know that I use G cup as the example of how large they're supposed to be during some portion of it. Anyway, you should introduce yourself since you.
You know, you're right. I should introduce myself, but where's the fun in that? All right, guys. I'm Derpy. I'm your host. We got my brain just short circuited again.
I know we have Sarah, the co-host.
That's the word, co-host. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I just, for the life of me, I just couldn't think of co-host.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, that's why I'm here to think more. Better.
Yeah, I don't think. See, if you guys start seeing smoke coming out of my ears, I'm thinking, and you probably should tell me to stop.
Well, which set of ears?
Yes.
Because don't you have both?
Only on the 3D model because it was a pain because it just looked weird without the the human ears. So yeah, I want to start off with a story. My brain is just short circuiting today.
Sure, we'll mix it up.
Gotta mute the music. It ain't helping.
Wait, we had music?
Yeah. Would you like to hear the music?
Nah. Here. We'll start with this story. And also, I just want to repeat this. Probably going to repeat this multiple times since we had no idea when or which episode people are going to tune in for. Do not seek out any of the people who post these stories on Reddit. We are against bullying.
Unless if it's me.
Yeah.
Then you can bully me.
Where?
No promises on how wholesome it's going to end up by the end of it, but
Yeah. These stories are just meant for entertainment purposes on this podcast. You can believe that they're real or fake, all you want.
where do you get these stories?
Ghost stories.
So r/ghost stories. That's where you can find these stories at.
This first one is called I Saw Something as My Mom.
My mind went down a very dark path for that.
Do you wish to elaborate?
Anime trope.
I mean, anime or hentai?
Technically both.
Okay.
There are some weird animes like that.
Oh, obviously. Now on to the story. When I was like 11 or 12, I always woke up in the middle of the night for no reason. Sometimes my blanket is rolled up in a corner of my bed. So
Grammar's pretty bad,
poor
isn't
grammar.
it?
It's kind of bad, but it's just that it's. I'm actually translating it to post tense. This person wrote it in present tense.
I'll just read it in present tense.
So I sit up, untangle it, cover myself with it, and go back to sleep. So that night, I sit up to find my blanket, but there was something in the doorway of my room. When I looked at it, it was my mom hunched over. Then she smiled widely. I don't know what the correct word for it was, but she then made a tuck, tuck, tuck noise from her mouth. Her teeth together in a biting motion. Then she walked away. I got scared and I covered my head to my toes with the blanket and eventually fell asleep. And the OP says, "My mom is not the kind of person who does pranks. I never in my life have seen her try to prank anybody." And then there's the next part, but what do you think tuck 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 sound? Because from reading it slightly, I think it might be like flashing of the teeth, like audible, but I'm also don't.
Like that?
Yeah,
Or, I mean, it could also be shuffling.
yeah.
Shuffling of the feet. I don't know. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say this is more of a nightmare than anything.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything what it could be.
The only part that makes me think it's not a nightmare, or if it's a nightmare, it's a reoccurring nightmare. Because there's a second, like, paragraph to this that says the whole incident was long forgotten until in the middle of the night recently, I woke up again for no reason. My fan was still on, so I got up, turned it off, and went back to bed. The moment I closed my eyes, I heard the tuck 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 sound right in my ear. I checked my whole room, and it was the only one, and I was the only one in the room with the old memories. With that, the old memories came back. I told the whole story to a friend, and we were talking about it when we heard the same tuck 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 noise from a corner. We both heard it, and both stopped talking instantly. We again checked the room to find nothing but ourselves. So that's the story. And then the person says,
All right.
"Sorry about all the grammar and misspellings. English is not my first language."
All right. So I changed my statement. Definitely not a nightmare. But I am going to say this. Whatever it is, they want to stay away from it.
Probably.
Because the simple fact of them talking about it and then they heard the noise is never good. It's kind of like the same deal when it comes to like skinwalkers. If you talk about a skinwalker, your skinwalkers are attracted to people who talk about skinwalkers. That's why no one likes to talk about skinwalkers in the Native American tribes. That's how you would attract a skinwalker. Well, same thing can go for demons too. Some demons. And other spirits.
Yeah.
It's the attention.
Yeah, their attention, of course.
See, if you talk about me, I'll show up too.
Are you a demon? I thought you were like an elder being, and I was the demon. Well, half demon.
I am an elder being. Oh yeah. But Pi, if you want to join in, yeah. Here. I totally forgot. You
Figured I'd ask first before I just join in.
I totally forgot you could just force your way in.
But on the note of it was based on the description, the noises were specifically in threes.
Yeah.
Which alludes to the fact that it might be a demon.
Yes.
Because when they make noises in threes, it is a mockery of the Trinity.
Yes.
Ah.
Are you able to set up your avatar? We can get you in on this.
I would love to, except my dumbass forgot to go install VNyan, so I'm going to go have to do that.
Oh, thankfully it's not that long of an install.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Also, good morning. And for those who don't know who this person is, this is one of the server admins and my best friend, Papa Pie, or NPC Pop Pie, whatever you want to call him.
Yes.
I just
Here's
called
our
him
Whatever name,
Pie
as long as it's tasteful, I am going to answer to it.
or Daddy.
That one, I'm still hesitant about, but I will answer.
So, yeah, no. I definitely say that. No, that could be a real thing right there.
Yeah.
Also, I would have to actually, because I'm on the new PC, actually use my freaking phone for the camera.
Oh shit. Now, let me turn you down a little bit. You are a bit on the loud side. If you accidentally got an invite, just ignore it. Okay, I didn't accidentally send you an invite. So, the server's not on fire, I promise.
What?
Just a certain section of it.
Yeah, just a certain section of it.
But, okay, so. But now, we're going to go over to Kelly's Olympian. This one isn't going to be a very long one. They don't have a whole lot that goes on there. But it is quite interesting, though, after doing the reading on it and all that. Now, this is one of Portland's oldest running bars. And it does not appear to be connected to the Shanghai tunnels, either.
Shocking.
I know, right? It's like almost every bar in Portland is connected to the freaking Shanghai tunnels, but this one is not. And it's older than I think it's actually older than the Shanghai tunnels. Too, on top of that. But you can find this bar. No, is it a bar? Yeah, I would say it's a bar. That's what it sounds. Yeah, it's a bar. But this bar is located on Southwest Washington Street in downtown Portland. I actually know where this bar is. It was one of the properties I had to lock up.
Ah.
Or I actually should say it. I didn't have to lock it up. More like, shoo, homeless. Shoo. You can't be here. When the bar was closed. Now, apparently people have seen a few things here. They've heard noises, heard ethereal parties. What the fuck is an ethereal party?
Like the sound of a party going on, but as though it's ghostly and not really present.
And people have also seen apparitions. Now, this bar was running even during the Prohibition. They were a speakeasy. I had to actually go look up that word while you were talking about it. About while you were doing that story.
Speakeasy?
Yeah.
Wait, did you not know how to pronounce speakeasy?
I did not.
Did you know what it was, at least?
I had a vague idea. I knew it was an illegal bar, and that's about it.
You're older than me. How do you not know that?
Some things just poof from my memory. It's the age. Then again, in my school, we didn't really talk about that kind of stuff. Prohibition was like 3 days long in class.
I don't remember the depth of my knowledge of speakeasies and all that from class either. I just remember it being stuff that I watched, actual like media and consumed content for that spoke about speakeasies and the
Look.
prohibition.
Growing up, I was stuck watching Golden Girls, Charm, and Cartoon Network.
Well, at least one of those things is good.
Wait, which one?
I'll leave it up to your personal decision.
Because I loved the Golden Girls. Actually, I was kind of mad about Charm. I liked the first season of Charm, and then Cartoon Network was just hit and miss. Depended on the show.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah.
No, the fun part is it doesn't translate to the VRM reactions, but it is there.
Okay. Yeah, no, apparently for this place, both the patrons and the staff have seen apparitions in this bar. From within the bar, in the bathroom, in random corners of the bar. And they don't feel any negative side effects from it, so I'd say those apparitions are joyful and happy. I mean, who knows?
We wouldn't want bad apparitions in the bar.
Hey, actually, I'm pretty sure some of them did have bad apparitions. Where the room just suddenly got cold, they got an uneasy feeling. Yeah, these ones, there's none of those types of reports. But
That's good.
yeah. Like, and then like they've had like late at night while the employees are cleaning up and all that, they'd hear like what sounded like a party. They'd go out there and tell like the people there, hey, bar's closed, only for nobody to be there. I'm like, damn, I'd be like, yeah, let's close this place up. Let's let these
Very
guys have their
spooky.
party. Yeah, but they would hear laughter, faint laughter, music, and glass clanking. While walking around in the back, the staff members have heard footsteps, whispers, of course, the occasional glass clanking. And some members felt like they were being watched while they were closing up, so I guess that would be the one creepy bit, but I don't know.
Maybe it's just a dead manager sticking around to make sure you do your job.
Yeah. Now they just need the dead Karen in there going, I want to speak to your manager. Oh, let's see. Yeah, but yeah, no, apparently they ran a speakeasy down in the basement of this bar. Shoot. I mean, Prohibition didn't really stop anyone, let's be honest here. It just made it just slowed down the alcohol making is all.
Yeah. That's very much why I'm just like, yeah, you can't really easily stop people from doing stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Kelly's Olympian. That's one of the places I do want to go to, actually.
Yeah. And I actually have a kind of story about Prohibition that isn't technically
A spooky
ghost
story?
related.
Oh.
It's not spooky.
Oh.
But like, did you know that Prohibition is the entire reason tipping culture exists in America?
Unfortunately, yes. I hate tipping culture.
Yeah, it's really bad for people.
Grocery stores have started doing tipping.
What?
Asking for grocery stores out here started asking for tips. I remember going
That's
up to
when you know you need to move out of the state.
Just so you know, I was in self-checkout when I found this out. Self-checkout. I'm sorry. I'm scanning the stuff myself and putting it in the bag myself. And they're like, "Would you like the tip?"
Yes, I'll tip myself $100, and I'll just take it out, put it back in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a tip. Pay your employees a livable wage.
I bet you that that money ain't even going to the employees. It's just going into the pockets of the managers
Oh yeah, totally.
and the owner. Because there is no laws when it comes to tipping for restaurant or for like grocery stores and all that. Only for restaurants.
Grocery
Yeah.
store's basically a restaurant with only takeout options.
Yeah, like in my
You
personal
cannot
opinion,
change my mind on that topic. That is how they're going to rule it.
Like in my personal opinion, the only sort of situation where tipping is perfectly fine is like hairstylists and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all-
if they are like physically coming up to you and doing a favor for you specifically, that is tip worthy.
Yeah. It's like if I'm going to McDonald's, I'm not gonna give a tip.
Yeah, fast food, not tip worthy.
Yeah. Like thankfully McDonald's isn't
Grocery
asking.
stores, not
Yeah.
really tip worthy.
Yeah. Like McDonald's isn't asking for tip out here. But you know what is? Burgerville, one of my most favorite places. They're like, "Do you want to give a tip to the cashier?" Not really. You know, Burgerville's a little on the pricey side to begin with, and their options were 20%, 30%, and 40%. There was no other option, and it was
There
like,
should be another option, because what if people want to pay more than that? How are you going to
yeah,
allow them to do so?
yeah, and one of the readers had like the no tip option, like made it where you couldn't press it.
That's BS.
Yeah, I physically made it where I could press it. I was like, yeah, give me a moment. Ripped off the piece and then pressed it. I'm not allowed back at that one, at that Burgerville. I'm not being forced to pay a
To be
tip.
fair, Burgerville probably deserves whatever bullshit they're going to get for it.
But, all right, what's the next story?
I'm guessing the red stories now.
Yeah, Reddit story.
Okay.
'Cause we still have like 27 minutes until the next ad.
Yeah. The next story is my dead sister ratted me out to my mom.
Hold on. How does that work? How does a dead sister rat out somebody to their mom?
You'd be surprised.
Well, the first line is literally what it says.
Okay, well.
And then followed by the actual story.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm more impressed that he got ratted out by his dead sister.
Yeah.
Like that is either a mother already knew or and is lying to the son, or sister pre-planned this, which I highly doubt that one. I'm thinking it's more the mother already knew, to be honest.
So I'm skimming this right now while you were talking. I'm just like, this entirely feels like it's just the mom using the dead sister as a scapegoat to make the kid seem
let's
more.
go with this.
because it says, my older sister passed away at 5 years old, a year before I came along. Okay, before the OP was even born.
Okay.
OP's mom is super connected to her sister, or the sister,
Okay.
still to this day. And I have quite a few stories from her I could share. This one makes me laugh now, though. In my 20s, I started smoking. My mom is very anti-drug, so I only smoked when she was away. A few days after returning home from a night away, she cornered me in the kitchen and told me he had a dream about Tina, the big sister. Tina just... Oh no, I lost my place.
Tina just.
Tina told her I was smoking wacky backy marijuana.
I was about to say, what the fuck is wacky backy? And then I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I already know.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
They forgot the wacky tobacco. Forgot the ta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tina told the mother that OP was smoking wacky tobacco in this dream, and she wanted to ask me if it was true. OP convinced her it was just a weird dream and absolutely not what was being said and what OP actually did.
So first thing,
And they moved on.
was OP actually smoking?
Yeah.
I bet you the mom was able to smell it, and that's why.
Yeah. And they
You
say
think you can hide the smell? It's
Yeah.
not very easy.
it's not.
And anyone who has tried to secretly smoke marijuana without their parents knowing and thinks they
will
got
get
away
into
with
the
it.
ventilation system and sit there for weeks.
Yeah, and they think, and if you think you got away with it, you definitely did not. Your parents are just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, and
Don't-
apparently the right moment was 3 days later.
Don't
If
do
they ask you
drugs
about
until
it,
you're
just
of
be
age.
honest.
Yeah. And even then, don't do the hard,
Stay-
mind-altering ones
Do the legal ones only.
until like later.
Do legal only. There.
Yeah.
Legal drugs only.
Legal
Weed,
drugs only.
alcohol, tobacco. And mushroom.
And prescribed drugs, obviously.
I mean, yeah, if it's told to do it by a doctor,
That's
do
different.
exactly what the doctor says.
Do what the doctor says. Yes. All right. Continue on.
3 days later, OP's mom came bursting into their room at 4 a.m., shouting at them that they knew they were lying. Tina came back to her and told her I was lying and that I am...
I like
that's
this
just
mom.
worded weirdly. I had to get up for work at 5, so I got up and made tea because she was really mad at me. So I confessed all, and she went back to bed annoyed at me for making her doubt my sister more so than the smoking. So yeah, my dead sister ratted me out to my parents.
I'm pretty sure the mom already knew.
Yeah.
I am confident the mom already knew.
It very much
But-
reads as a...
Pro mom move right there, though.
yeah.
Definitely pro mom move right there. Ooh,
Ooh, what?
this next place, I've actually been there. So has Voldrin.
Wait, did you guys go
Yeah, we-
there on your little birthday outings?
Yes, we did.
Ah.
We definitely did, and I like this place.
Ah,
If you like Halloween, you'll love this place. So,
what is the place?
this place is called the Ravens Manor. It is a bar slash restaurant that is purely themed around Halloween 24/7. Year round, it'll be Halloween themed. And
I would love to visit there.
everything that they sell is some level of spooky theme. I even got a mason jar in the shape of a skull from there. So if you're ever in downtown Portland, I highly recommend this. They've got some really good food. At it's more of a bar than a restaurant. They have like sweets and alcohol. That's about it. But the sweets were really good. Like I'm not a big fan of sweets, and I fell in love with their sweets.
I've become less of a fan of sweets over the years.
Yeah. There was this like powdered dough that they gave me that you dip into chocolate, and it was in the shape of a ghost.
Spooky.
I know. Now, they highly encourage you to get up and actually explore the building too. Like, go walk around, explore it, because they have like a little haunted maze down in the basement. But what makes this even better is it's in here because apparently it's actually haunted, and I had no idea when I was there.
Really?
Apparently,
Well,
I didn't really.
well, I also have to.
I didn't actually explore it. We didn't have the time to explore it.
I do have to ask the important question.
What?
Is this one connected to the Shanghai tunnels?
No,
Another one.
this one is not. But it is. But it's. I think it's just outside of where the Shanghai tunnels end, and that's why. And this place was built in 1907. I all the numbers got switched around, and I was reading 79 for some odd reason. I ignored the rest of the numbers. It would be impressive if a building survived that long.
Yes, it would be.
But yeah, no, it's like this place. People have reported, including the owner and employees, have reported unexplained noise, footsteps, faint whispers, and these really happen late at night, like after the place is closed. And the place closes pretty early. They close at about 10, so they're not open very long either. They're open maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it's relatively short and early for a bar.
Yeah. Like we were hoping we'd be able to make it to the final call before the final call so we can go and explore. But we didn't make it in time. The motion sensor cameras they have in there throughout the maze and all that have taken pictures while the bar is closed. For no reason at all. There's nothing in the images. And they're not even sure why it took those pictures. It's just our owner has come back and there's a bunch of pictures of nothing.
Oh, very spooky.
I mean, now I will say this next bit, I definitely felt the uneasiness when you go down to where the maze is and the bathroom is. There is a very heavy atmosphere down there, and cold spots. especially in the bathrooms, there's a cold spot with no vents in there where the cold spots are. Which I did find weird, but I just figured, it's spooky. My nerves are just through the wall. But we did have something interesting happen while we were there. There was apparently so I got this someone in the server named Dizzy. She was there with us. And apparently when she went to go use the bathroom and there was somebody else in the bathroom. And while that girl was washing her hands, Dizzy heard her scream. And the girl was saying that there was somebody right behind her.
Uh-huh.
But there was nobody right behind her. So,
yeah. That would definitely make me scream.
Yeah, that would make me scream. So, if you're ever in downtown Portland near the Old Town District, definitely worth going to. It's close to the what is it called? I forget what the place what it's called. Like right up against a river, or where there's a park usually, up against a river. Not a beach though. It'll come to me. It'll come to me later.
And hopefully it comes to you
I
later.
gotta restart my computer.
Okay.
Ah.
But yeah, no, it's like, and this is definitely a place I want to go to again when I'm not on a time crunch. Because when we went, we had to go to a ghost hunting tour where I actually got to see most of these buildings that we're talking about.
Ah.
So, and some of the stories that I've talked about, I've heard from this person. So if you're ever in Portland and you want to go and see all the haunted places, Portland Ghost Tours, highly recommend them. The tour guides are awesome. Pay a little extra for the hour-long tour afterwards for the little extra knowledge of Portland. Worth it. It is a lot of walking, though. I will say that.
Yep. How did Derpy survive it?
I barely survived. Thankfully, it was a lot of standing around, too. So I just sat down during those moments. I'm not very good at walking. But I'm too stubborn to do anything else that is the easy way. Well, that's it for this one. There's not a whole lot. Like, we're getting towards the end of the list of the haunted areas for Portland, actually.
Ah.
Yeah. Pretty soon we'll do a video on the Shanghai tunnels.
I'm back.
Oh.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
yes. Welcome back.
Wait, what did you had to restart your computer?
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that it was working properly.
Yeah, I think it's like one or two more episodes. Yeah, one more episode and we'll be doing the Shanghai tunnels.
Ah.
And that one will probably end up being, depending on how much information I can pull up on it, that one will probably be an entire 2-hour segment with little Reddit stories in between for me to take a quick break.
Ah, yes. So, like, you've asked this before if I've got other supernatural experiences, and I realize technically I do, but they have nothing supernatural about them because it's just I've been to places that are supposedly haunted, but I've never experienced supernatural stuff at them.
So that's the funny thing about supernatural things, is they don't always happen. A lot of the haunted stuff and supernatural stuff is very anecdotal. Unfortunately, it's you cannot. It's really hard to reproduce supernatural things in a controlled setting. And so, like, a lot of these things, like, you may go to them and have nothing happen. Go to these places that we're talking about and have nothing happen. And then one day you may just go there and you'll see a glass moving down the bar table for no reason at all. So, that's the thing about supernatural things. Like, sometimes it happens a lot, and then there's just times where nothing. Like, growing up, it was like those supernatural things that happened at my house. Maybe 2-3 days out of the entire year. It's like you never know when supernatural stuff is going to happen. When you go there, you're just hoping it happens. But
Yeah,
I will say this: if you're scared when you go in, it's more likely to happen, and it could be a mix of nerves or feeding the spirit or whatever it is, haunting the place.
yeah, I never went to the places that were haunted with the intention to see the haunted stuff, because the couple places that I've been are all just like people who act like LDS members of the LDS Church kind of know of these places because they're famous among LDS members in ways that aren't because they're haunted, just that they're major LDS locations. Like, there's a place that's basically is like the Joseph Smith Museum. Joseph
Yeah.
Smith is the guy who
Isn't he?
founded the
Yeah, I was
LDS
about to say,
religion.
wasn't he the founder of the Mormon?
Yeah. And he supposedly haunts the building that was built states away from where he actually died.
Which is possible. As long it would have to be like he would have to have been like at that place at some point in his life. But it is possible. Like, where you die isn't always where you're gonna end up if you end up being trapped on this realm. Like, there's actually one ghost who is a firefighter, and he'll show up at multiple bars. So I think I may have to make like I think I'll add him in, do him as a ghost, because he doesn't really show up in any of these.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
on
a
any
good
of these,
idea.
any of these, like any of the information about these. So I'll have to look up information for next week video about him, because his story is one of heroics, honestly. I mean, he lost his life in a fire, making sure that all of his firefighters were out of the burning building, and just couldn't get out of it in time. And it was like it pretty much shut down Portland for his funeral, because just the amount of people showing up for it just pretty much put Portland in a deadlock for his funeral. He was a very well loved person. And his ghost does haunt multiple bars that he liked to frequent when he was alive. And actually, one of the buildings we're talking about today is one of the bars he frequented.
Is it the final one?
It is. So we're going to go through a Reddit story after the ad break.
I was supposed to be like, we should first do the ad break since
Yeah.
probably coming up within like 10 minutes.
6 minutes. Yes. I'm going to run it now and go do whatever I need to do.
Okay.
I was trying so hard not to laugh through that entire thing. The tracking finally took hold, and it thinks I have a lazy eye on both eyes.
Uh-huh.
I look like a fucking idiot. My goodness. It definitely feels more natural, aside from, the whole eyes not being able to track correctly because of the reflections in my glasses. This looks so dumb.
You might be surprised that I don't have the problems because of that. But we actually don't use that way to bring in.
Ooh, I made it back in
other
time.
people.
Yeah. I'm jealous. I want to be able to do that with my character for lazy. Have it making my character look like they have both eyes being lazy and going off in different directions.
All you have to do is get reflections strong enough to where it covers the pupil and it
Have you
can't tell where the fuck it's looking.
Glasses.
That's all it is. That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
I have a lazy
So
eye, actually.
do you have Video Ninja?
I can go set that up. Give me a second.
Yeah. That's what we're using. Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back from the ad break.
We are totally ready.
Yeah, we're totes ready.
So for real.
Yeah, for real, we're totally ready, literally. Anyway, do we want to do a long story, or do we want to save a long story for the end?
Do a long story.
For the Reddit. Okay. So, this one actually is literally labeled as long by the person who posted
So
it.
what's so long about it?
If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 11 paragraphs of text. And I've got to do multiple scrolls of the will to get to the bottom of it.
Wow, that is a long story.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Yes. Ready. My trip to the
There you
slaughter
go.
yard. A story my mom wouldn't tell me until my 30s.
Okay. Wait, why 30s?
I have no idea why. Skimming it slightly, the first one, it seems like the mom did not want to talk about it for 30 years. That's the reason didn't talk about until they were in their 30s.
Yep. Pide's taking over the screen.
I have?
Oh
Oh no. What a shame.
I think I
It is
fixed
very
it.
terrible at tracking my mouth right now, but it at least
Oh,
tracks
that's
my
good.
head really
That's
freaking well.
That should be good. There we go. Now we got Pie on here.
Yep, my eyes are. I can't with my fucking eyes. Good lord.
Irby, you may want to slide
God
over
damn it.
a bit.
Okay, I slid over.
Anyway, I should actually start the story.
Yeah.
So let me start out by saying I enjoy writing, so this will be long. It is, of course, nonfiction, though. But
It's nonfiction.
this will hopefully be an interesting read. I'll submit that I
Okay,
have
why the hell did
absolutely
you
no
just
memory
ask
of
what
this
nonfiction
experience.
is?
Okay. Is nonfiction the real life one or the
Real life.
Okay. I had to make sure. I always get those.
Fic-
I always get them
Fiction
so confused.
equals fake.
I always get them confused.
If it starts with F, it's fake.
That's why fake news is fake.
Exactly.
It starts
They
with an
also-
F.
They
Anyways,
also
continue.
Okay. They also fully say they have no memory of this experience. And that they were, according to the story, they were a little over 2 years old at the point, and just started walking on their own when this event took place.
Okay.
My mom only told me this story around 3 years ago when I was 32 and about to get married. My mother was raised in a very tiny fundamentalist Christian community and had no belief in the paranormal. She believed that our souls sleep until Judgment Day or something like this. Ergo, there are no ghosts or spirits to haunt houses. Even over 30 years later, she still sounded terrified as she told me this. This woman who always talks way too loud was literally whispering by the end of it. And she was white as a sheet. I believed her completely and still do. My mom never talks about stuff like this. And I'm glad I can't remember it too.
Okay.
With the setup like that, I'm expecting a creepy
This
story.
better be good. This better be good. It better be real. And not the mom making things up. Or having a
Yeah.
psychotic break.
So,
Actually, if the mom's having a psychotic break, that'd be pretty entertaining too. To read.
Okay.
What? Some of the things that people see in their psychotic break is actually pretty entertaining.
yeah, and people wonder why Charlie the Unicorn exists.
Hello.
In 1988, my parents had their second child. This was my brother, Victor. Oh, and I only bring this up now because I only noticed it because this is the first name that's actually brought up. All these names are fake. And they're made fake by the OP, not me.
You know what? I think you should fake the fake names.
Okay, this was my brother, Tommy.
Perfect. That fits.
We were very crowded in our rented flat with 2 babies. My parents decided to move to a rambling old 2-story farmhouse on a 7-acre plot in southern Ohio.
Why is it always
I have no
Ohio?
idea where that is. I have a very strong idea where that is.
Continue on.
They moved to southern Ohio for more room for the family. It was way out in the sticks and took almost an hour to get to town from there. My mom said the first time I saw the house, I freaked out. I was crying and saying things like, "Don't like mean house, ugly house, don't like, scary house, mama, don't like."
Okay.
My mom says this behavior was very out of character for me, but I stopped complaining about the house after a few weeks. So she chalked it up to the stress of the move. I would also chalk it up to the stress of the move if my child did that.
Same.
Yeah.
Now this house was ramshackle AF and in the middle of nowhere.
You know, if it's
That is
ramshackle, that explains why it's ugly and mean.
Yeah, that is a colorful descriptive way to describe a house. Ramshackle AF.
Yes.
The kitchen was The kitchen was to the far rear of the house, and until recently, before we moved in, still had a working, ancient wood-burning cooking stove against the back wall. This had caught the back wall on fire a couple times before we moved in, and caused a lot of damage. A lot of this damage wasn't fixed, so my young, broke parents got a very cheap rent agreement. Gotta love the 80s. On the second floor, directly above the kitchen, was a locked room. The landlord claimed it had heavy fire damage, but her son, who had done the repairs, claimed the only fire damage left was in the kitchen, since it had been the worst and was beyond his skill level to fix. Either way, the landlord was adamant that this room was off limits, and my parents always respected that. I would have looked 100%. Lol. Like, yeah, you're a kid. Obviously, you would have looked.
Always. Like I would have looked.
Man.
I mean, my mom told me never go up into the attic of the barn, and that it's dangerous. You know the first thing I did? I went up into the attic of the barn.
Yeah,
and
that
then
sounds
ran
about
out
right.
and then ran out screaming because a bunch of bats came flying at me.
Yeah, it proved that it was dangerous, but not for the reasons that your mom probably thought.
I also fell down like a 5-foot hill because I ran off to the side because I couldn't see. And it was a really steep hill.
Yeah, if you call it falling down instead of tumbling.
It was definitely not tumbling. It was like a short drop and then you rolled.
Okay. I know all this because I heard stories about the crappy farmhouse with the creepy door my whole life, and there were pictures of us in and around the farmhouse. The locked door was right next to the upstairs landing, so there was no avoiding it, and both parents have told me it gave them the creeps. And I'm just like, there's a part of me that wants to know what's in that room more than anything else in the story right now.
Okay.
I'm like, you bring up this creepy room, and it seems like this isn't what the story's about, though. Even though it could totally be what the story is about.
I was about to say, it could all tie back into the room. If they're a good writer, they'll be able to tie it back into the room. Because good thing one of the rules of writing, if you mention something, you better go back to it eventually.
Yes. A few months after we moved in, my mother and I were in the yard with our old pit Doberman mix. Boss. Apparently the name of the dog was Boss. She was hanging laundry, and I was fooling around with the dog. She said that just as she noticed that everything was too silent. Okay, I'm going to reread that because my mind, for some reason, completely blanked as soon as I got to the end. She said that just as she noticed that everything was way too silent, Boss started to go apeshit from surprisingly far away. About 500 yards from the house on the left, there was a small duck pond. Boss was in between the two, running towards my mom, then turning and running back towards the pond, barking frantically the whole time. Wow, this is that's a turn. I did not expect that. quickly read the next one, and yeah,
Don't leave me hanging. I'm invested.
I will.
Hold on, guys. We're
My
gonna go on an
mom-
ad break. I gotta go beat up my co-host.
Well, that's gonna be a pretty long ad. That's like, I think from where you are to me is like a 6 to 10 hour drive.
No, it's longer.
Oh,
It's
actually,
a 9-hour drive for me to get to Pi, and I'm closer to Pi than I am to you.
but I'll continue so that Derpy doesn't beat the fuck out of me.
Okay, I'm ready.
My mom saw something thrashing around in the middle of the pond. She took off towards the water full speed. Boss beat her there and drug me out of the water himself. Thank you, Pupper. Love you. And that was when I was like, damn, you nearly died?
Damn.
Although my mom was confused how I got so far so fast and how I got into the center of the pond since it was over my head and I couldn't swim. She figured she underestimated me and brought me. I read that wrong. And brought in the baby gates and playpen. I was to be contained from now on.
It's a jailbird.
A few weeks later, she was cooking downstairs. Boss was outside. Tommy asleep in his crib, and I was in my playpen in my upstairs room. I also had a gate on my door and one at the top of the stairs. The stairs ran up from the side of the kitchen, so my mom said she could listen for us crying or fussing while cooking. My mom said no longer than 15 minutes after the last time she looked in on us kids, Boss started going crazy yet again in the yard.
Boss is the
She
dog,
runs up
right?
Yeah, Boss is the dog.
Okay. Such an
She
interesting name for a dog.
Yes, it's
I
very
like it.
interesting.
I like it.
She runs up to check on us. Tommy's still sleeping. Every baby cage is still shut and locked, but I am not in my room. A frenzied search reveals I'm not in the house at all. What the fuck is trying to kill this kid?
I played the fifth.
Something, apparently.
'Cause, yeah, I just read the next thing, and it is a sudden image of Boss saving me from drowning, causing my mom to rush outside to see what he's trying to tell her this time. She said he was running circles in the yard, barking uncontrollably. When she got outside, he took off towards the right, away from the pond. He would run ahead, turn around, and bark at my mother, wait for her to catch up a little before racing off again. He ended up leading her almost a mile and a half out onto the dirt road that separated our property from the neighbors. He led her to a thick stand of trees on our neighbor's side of the rocky drive. How the fuck did the kid get a fucking mile and a half away in 15 minutes?
Said in 15 minutes? That's doable.
Kid.
It's fast, but it's
Yeah,
doable.
but
It's a kid.
yeah. More than anything, it's the how did it? Well, actually, no.
It's like
so
2 or 3
it was
years.
15. Yeah, two
Like-
to 3.
2 to 3 years old. In 15 minutes, a mile and a half is not. No.
Though also, you also have to. It was 15 minutes before the disappearance was noticed, and they have all the time to walk and chase after the kid.
Yeah. Damn.
He
Now,
is fast. You got that on a leash.
yeah. So either something's taking the kid and leading the kid to places, or this kid is trying to escape.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said what hit her first when she reached the destination was the foul stench of advanced decay. She plowed into the trees with... That's an interesting way to describe that. She plowed into the trees with her heart in her throat and her stomach full of ice. She said she noticed many piles of corrugated tins,
Okay.
tarps, tires, and other debris. The miasma was emanating most strongly from these junkyard Karens. Peeking under a sheet of tin, she discovered the extremely decomposed corpse of a butchered cow. As she
Okay.
headed deeper into the thicket, where the tree cover was denser, she said less care was taken to cover the remains. Grisly pieces of bone and rotted chunks of bovine littered the area. Apparently, our neighbor, in an effort to cheat his taxes, had been illegally slaughtering cattle and hiding the remains in at least one of, in parentheses, at least, parentheses, one of the few thick stands of trees around. I did not know that stands were collections of trees.
Is it? Is it really?
Apparently, at least that's what I get from the story. Let me look it up to clarify.
Yeah, I gotta look this up. We're learning new things today, guys.
Forest
Yeah.
stand is a contagious community of trees, sufficiently uniform in composition, structure, age, size, class, distribution. It's a group of trees.
Yeah, and it being in particular, it's like pretty uniformed, honestly, from the looks of it.
Yeah.
Like it's those trees where you just, when you look down it, you can just continue seeing straight ahead. Like to be honest, those always give me the creepy, like, I don't want to go down there. Like, I look down there and I'm just like, something. If I go down there, something's going to kill me. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because I've seen those, especially in the South.
I haven't in anything other than movies.
They do exist, and they are creepy. In my opinion, they're creepy, at least. Because nature is not normally that uniformed. And to see nature that uniform is just creepy to me.
Yes. Go back to the story.
Yes.
She found me in the dead center of this thicket, just standing there, looking around like I was confused, surrounded by carnage. She said I didn't seem scared or anything, just standing. She rushed over to me, and after ascertaining that I wasn't injured, began questioning me on why I was here, how I got there, etc. Keep in mind that although my mother said I started speaking very young, I still didn't have much vocabulary. She said I told her, with that serious look only small children can give, that the children brought me here. Shatting her pants at the thought that anyone, even children, could walk right past her through the kitchen, get me from upstairs, and walk right back past her on the way down the stairs and out with me. She demanded to know what children and where the hell they are now. I looked at her dead serious and told her, the ones that live with us in the room at the top of the stairs, and that I didn't see them anymore. Voila, the room is haunted that they don't
The
want.
room has got children in it. The scariest type of ghost, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like, there's a slight comment of part of this, the whole like, she was surprised that OP at that age wasn't freaked out by all the dead corpses around them. And I'm just like,
why would they?
OP probably didn't know what the fuck they were looking
Yeah.
at them.
Exactly. I was like, at that age, you don't know what death is. Like, that's not even an idea in your mind. At that age, you don't know what a corpse would look like, or a carcass would look like.
Like,
We
the
should
only
think
thing
so.
is that supposedly it was very foul smelling, and I'm just like,
Even then,
I
children wouldn't really care about the smell.
Yeah.
Otherwise, children would be crying a lot.
Yes. Continuing on, after a moment of stunned silence, she started asking all kinds of questions about these children. However, she told me that I refused to say anything else. She said as long as she questioned me about what happened, I would just stand there staring at her with a serious expression and my mouth closed. She said the same pattern held true every other time she brought it up to me, so she was always left wondering and immediately began hounding my dad about moving closer to town.
Understandable.
While the incident with me getting to the pond was highly unlikely, it was at least remotely possible. My mother is adamant that me being in the hidden slaughter yard that day was flat impossible. She says there's no way I could have even known it was out there, and much less the ability to open and relock the baby gates, gets downstairs past her, and end up almost 2 miles down the road and in this place in under 15 minutes. I was only 2 and as slow as clumsy as most toddlers. As I said, she's still shaken by it after 30 years.
Okay, the fact that the child gates were opened and closed, and she wasn't alerted, because back then those child gates were noisy.
Which is why I actually think they didn't open and close the child gates. If it's the ghosts, they just walked through them. And we're like, lifted up the kid above it.
Yeah.
And the final thing that the OP says, personally, I have no idea what happened that day. I've thought about hypnosis, but haven't yet decided if I really want to remember. Maybe it's better to let it be a mystery, because whatever the fuck those things were, I really don't want to think they were children.
It's just, children ghosts are the most scariest ghosts. Because it's one of two things. It's a child who died really young, which is very sad and depressing, or it's a demon trying to look innocent. And there is no in between. It is something evil, or it is something depressing. There is nothing else that it can be when it comes to a child ghost.
Yeah.
And if it's an actual child ghost, most of the time they don't remain in this realm. they usually move on to their next life pretty quickly, if that's what people believe in, or to heaven, or whatever people believe in. They usually move on. There is nothing to tie them down to here at that age.
If I was OP, after hearing that story, I'd instantly investigate the place.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
okay, what messed up shit happened in this house to make there be ghost children?
You see, I want the address of the place, and I want to look up the history of that place, of that address.
Yeah.
Because that is not normal.
And also, like, something about the story is just like, why was the near death of OP in the pond the children also?
I mean, it could be. Because, like, if the children, like, around, like, OP's age at that time, OP's not going to know the difference. As far as OP's thinking is, friends, people to play with. I'm bored. I'm going to go play with these people.
Yeah, which is why I think there's a higher likelihood that it isn't children ghosts. It's
Yeah.
creating it as a kid. Specifically because of the, hey, we wanted to kill you first time, and the second time just seems like we want to scar you with this gruesome imagery, even though you will not understand what this gruesome imagery is actually supposed to be for a while.
It's either that or they're trying to give the mom a heart attack.
Yeah. The
Which
ghost just hit the
seems to be
mom.
freaking working, to be honest.
Yes, if the mom still has trouble speaking about it to this day.
Yes. That ghost definitely did a good job at tormenting the mom. Oh, is there any more?
Of that story?
Yeah.
No, that's a
That
lot.
was- That was the end?
That's it. But I'm going to check if the OP made any comments.
Yeah, because I gotta know if there was anything more, or, like, what are the people in the comments saying?
There is one person that says, "Great story. I would do hypnosis because it'd drive me crazy." The thought, the thought. Okay, this comment is very. I'll just read it out. It's exactly written. Great story. I would do hypnosis just cause it'd drive me crazy. The thought. I mean, what things did you see?
You see, the thing is me personally, I wouldn't do hypnosis.
Let's just investigate the place.
Because there are some things that are better off left in the past like that. Better forgotten. And OP at that age was not old enough to know better. But OP is now at the age to know better and understand what everything that they saw. And it could mess with them mentally. It could destroy them mentally.
Yeah. OP in the actual reply to this comment says, I'm just summarizing this because it's kind of long and we don't really need to have all this information.
Yeah.
But they say there was no one died in the fire. The
Okay.
place is like pushing 200 years old.
Okay. There's a high chance of
And-
it being haunted.
They say it's close to the Ohio River Valley,
Okay.
or it's in. Oh no, the area is the Ohio River Valley area,
Okay.
and they kind of think instead of a ghost that may be nature spirits, trolls, goblins, or elves of small size.
Elves
thinking
wouldn't.
They were children.
Elves wouldn't do something like that. Fairies would. Trolls would. Gnomes would. Elves, not so much.
And they say that this was an area that indigenous people did live in at one point.
Okay.
That all just leads more to me thinking, I don't think this was a ghost per se of somebody who died. I actually think it was some malicious spirit that was trying to
This is
do something.
Yeah, this is a very malicious spirit right here. This is definitely not a ghost. I mean, I know at one point I'm going to be doing a story on Crater Lake, which is, I think if I remember correctly, is also like had an indigenous tribe around it, and that one's got some pretty good stories to it also. But I don't know, Pi. Would you go and get the hypnosis to try to
I
bring
would
up?
not.
What about you, Sarah?
I would not either, but it's also partially I've tried to be hypnotized before and it's never worked.
Ah,
I'm
fair
just like,
enough.
I just wouldn't do that. I would just investigate the area.
Plus, I'm probably like Sarah. I would not be easily hypnotized, if at all.
I wouldn't know if I would be. Not gonna try. I don't like that kind of stuff. But you know, I'm gonna have to say this story's gotta be true. Especially if the mom is still freaked out about it till this day.
Yeah, I read in a couple other comments that they were just like, yeah, my mom is really freaked out about whenever it's brought up now that I know about it.
Yeah, like this has got to be true.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, this is like definitely one where I kinda wanna go to the place now.
Obviously, you'd want to go.
I know, right? I want to see what was causing it. I am highly curious about this kind of stuff. Or if I had the money, I'd be going to a bunch of haunted places and doing video recordings and streams of it. And then when I'm not doing that, I'd be doing storm chasing.
I was about to say, yeah, you're just going to be a ghost catcher, or a ghost expert and a storm chaser.
Yes. And then I'll just video edit Ghost into the tornadoes. Be like, I have combined the two.
The tornado
Ghost NATO is what I will call it. And then make sure people understand this is definitely fake. This is not real. I don't want people thinking. I know how stupid the internet can be sometimes.
Yes. If you said that, they still be stupid probably and be like, oh, totally real. Totes real. Real for real.
Humanity just scares me sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
There were times where I'm like, aw, you actually did something good for once. And then other times it's, why? Why did you do this?
Yeah, that's every day.
There's a reason why I don't look at the news, but we're gonna drop it right there.
Yes. We're gonna drop that and pick up Dan and Lewis Oyster Bar.
Yes. Now, I've been to the outside of this place. It looks really nice. It is not a place I'm going to go to, though, because they serve seafood, and I don't like seafood. Now, is this place connected to the Shanghai tunnels? We actually do not know.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't publish it?
So, no one actually knows, not even the owners knows, if the Shanghai tunnels are physically connected to the bar. It is near the Shanghai tunnels, but they don't know if it's actually connected to the Shanghai tunnel. That is an interesting tidbit. Because it is right in that area, like in that middle ground area. You can find this place on Southwest Ankeny Street in Old Town Portland, which is like Chinatown area. Also, guys, just so you guys know. Why they changed it to Old Town all of a sudden for what I was researching, I don't know. But
I just liked it better that way.
I mean, yeah, because Chinatown it was Chinatown, then it went Japanese Town, then it went back to Chinatown after World War II, and now Old Town.
You think it would actually be Chinatown during World War II instead of Japanese Town?
So what ended up happening was the Japanese during World War II ran out of there. There was a lot of racism during then towards the Japanese, but unfortunately, that racism also affected the Chinese because most Americans couldn't tell the difference between Chinese and Japanese. And yeah, and the worst part is Portland went to go make an apology to them and managed to insult the Japanese and Chinese even more in their attempt of an apology. They basically put up a statue of a dragon of the Chinese Japanese traditional type of dragons, but they had the dragon pointing downward, which is a symbol of oppression.
Well, they really had zero actual Japanese and Chinese people on that creative
No,
team.
they did not.
Just like
and they had a collar on it. It was like whoever designed that should have gotten fired.
Yeah, because not very much read says, yeah, we built this for you so that you know your place as our lesser people and our slaves.
Now, I will say this. They are trying to rectify it. Some of the statues have been taken down. And the areas where the statues are being taken down are closed off. Because it was like 4 statues in total. All the same. So, they are trying to fix it once they realize what was actually wrong with it. Because people hated it. Like, the people that lived there hated it. Rightfully so. Like, if you do anything involving a dragon and it comes to Chinese or Japanese, never have the dragon pointing downwards. Have it always pointing upwards. Because dragons are supposed to be all-powerful and almighty, very knowledgeable, and wisdom.
Yeah,
they're also arrogant as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that's also
they're known to be arrogant as fuck.
Okay.
They're supposed to look high and mighty.
Okay, to be honest, anything of high intelligence is usually arrogant as fuck.
Yeah. You should just be glad that I'm not that arrogant.
And just because it's arrogant doesn't mean it's intelligent.
True, but most intelligent things that are intelligent are arrogant when it comes to mythological.
Yeah, I've recently, to a lot of people I've talked to, I've been described as super smart, and I'm just like, okay, I'll believe you.
I'm described as super dumb.
So we got the dumb one and the smart one in this podcast.
I'm
The issue
often
is
described as a teddy bear that probably knows more than he should.
okay. Yeah, but the issue is like all my test scores prove opposite.
Like, you put me in a test room, you'll be fucking dumbfounded.
Yeah, you put me in a test room, give me a test, and I will come out there and I'll definitely be up top. I'm not dumb. I just seem dumb.
That's why I play a bunch of games. I just want to learn more,
I love learning.
to do things differently. Because if you're not learning, you're losing.
Yes. All right. So let's get back. So if you guys like the sea and like nautical stuff, themed stuff, this place is the place to go. Like, it is very nautical themed. I will give it that. I've seen it from the outside. Very much so. Not nautical theme. And this bar was established in 1907 and has been family owned since. So the current owners are relatives of the previous owners and so on and so forth, which is, I find, really interesting because you don't see that very often, especially in like cities. And this is one of the bars that goes
when it was created.
Yeah. What?
I say, especially with how old the place is.
Yeah, like 1907. Like, that's over.
It's 118.
18? Yeah, 118 years this bar has been open. Or, I mean, that is a long time for a restaurant, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
And for it to also stay in the family.
That too. It was like most restaurants would end up like getting bought out by another restaurant, bigger restaurant, and whatnot. So, if you like family-owned restaurants, there's another check mark.
And seafood.
And if you love seafood, check mark. That is its primarily what it sells is seafood. So, not my style. I couldn't eat there anyways. I'd end up in the hospital if I ate there. So, now this place is close to the Shanghai tunnels. Whether it's connected or not, we don't know. Wow, actually they got some they got some like actual, apparently some of the stuff that they have in this place is artifacts from the USS Oregon. Like that's actually pretty cool. Artifacts from a military ship. I don't know what class USS Oregon was. Now I gotta find out. Not USS, not USD, USS Oregon.
It seems to be pre-dreadnought battleship.
What's a pre-dreadnought battleship?
It's a battleship that... Oh, how do I describe this? Because dreadnoughts were meant to, I guess, signify a ship of a class similar to what was known in the World War as the Flying Fortress. Except naval.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty cool, though, that they have stuff from the USS Oregon in it. I mean, that shit had not have been cheap to get.
Yeah.
Because that is... Just from what I'm kind of reading, I think the USS Oregon was actually played a pretty big, decent role in America. Let's see. 1890... Oh, no. Yeah, it was there for the Spanish-American War. Although it looks like it was looks like he stopped using it in 1919. Not a whole lot on it, though. No. Still, that is very interesting, though. I wonder how many people from the Shanghai tunnels was put onto that ship. Because yeah, that's what the Shanghai tunnels did. If you needed a crew for a ship, go to the Shanghai tunnels. Now, this is where things kind of get a little interesting. Like the hauntings, no one knows why the place was haunted. They're thinking it's because of the close proximity to the Shanghai tunnels. But people have reported shadowy figures out of the corner of their vision, and they seem to vanish quickly, which could be a trick of the lighting or eye. With
Yeah,
that,
could be.
yeah, like that one. If they vanish pretty quickly, that could be your mind playing tricks on you. I've had that happen. Now this one can be a little bit harder to try to rule out. But late at night, when the restaurant's quiet, like they're doing cleanup and all that, and the people will hear whispers and murmurs coming from an empty room. Now that one's a bit weird. Like no one's in the room. Why is there noise coming from it? Owner has heard footsteps in empty hallways, especially near the more secluded areas. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry, but if I heard footsteps in areas where people were usually not, I'm out of there. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
okay, something's following me, something's hunting me, or there's someone here to do harm to me. It's anyone who gets behind me. Mm-mm.
I even though I'd be like, oh, after a bit of not being able to find anyone, I'd be like, oh, my first definite thought would be somebody's in here with me and wants to kill me. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yes. And now this one's really hard to explain. Moving objects, chairs shifting suddenly, utensils clinking on their own, glasses tipping over without a cause. Like, that is interesting. Because chairs don't just shift suddenly. I mean, I can see utensils clinking on their own. A lot of people don't know this, but Portland is near a fault. And so there could be like little minor tremors that could cause the utensils to clink sometimes. Like tremors that we can't feel, but other objects would still make noise to. Glasses tipping over. That one's also an odd one because glasses wouldn't normally just tip over on their own. Not unless if it's like extremely uneven. Like, ooh. So, but it doesn't look like you'd be running into any of these while the bar is open.
Yeah, it seems that all the activity is late.
Yes. So, but if you want to go there and you want to enjoy some good seafood and enjoy the nautical view, good place to go. And then you have the knowledge of some possibly ghostly activity, and even probably ask the staff, "Hey, is this place haunted?" And see if we can get any stories from them. I'm sure Portland loves scary things. They are very big on haunted stuff. I mean, they have an entire tour just dedicated to it. So, I'm pretty sure you can ask the employees, and they'll gladly tell you a ghost story from that they have experienced themselves. Now should we do an ad break? Yeah, there's not a whole lot in these.
These what?
These buildings, there's not a whole lot. Like all the good ones were all done in the beginning.
Yes. Yeah. When would the next ad break be anyway?
10 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it now, and then we'll read one more Reddit story.
That sounds good. We're gonna do an ad break, and then we'll be right back. Yeah, no, Yeah, I'm a little sad that there's not a whole lot of information on some of these stuff. But a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
this,
what a bunch of ghost stories are, is a bunch of secluded assholes that don't want to tell anything about it.
yeah, it's like I like having to go through. Like I know Raven Manor, they'll gladly tell you, but I didn't even when I went there, I had, God damn it, Spartan. Like I didn't even know that Raven Manor was haunted when I went there, so it wouldn't have even crossed my mind to ask them about any haunted stuff. So it was like, wow. Are we back?
I'm sure put the most we were
I
back.
don't know, are we?
Yeah, I think we're back. Welcome back. You may want to mute your mic with whatever you're doing, Pi.
What do you mean?
We were able to hear all of that background noise.
My apologies. I like Oreos.
Understandable. Oreos are good. Welcome back. And Spartan, were you screaming because of the ads?
I was just screaming because Spartan was screaming.
I think Spartan
scream
just
with her.
like I think Spartan just likes to scream.
I do think she just likes to scream and also scream at ads.
I mean, I like to scream too. It's okay. Why do you think I
Yeah,
play
we know.
scary games?
That's a lot.
Speaking of Phasmo, I want to play tonight.
Want to play specifically Phasmo?
Yes.
Oh, I actually do have a minor question
Yes.
about something.
I have a minor answer.
You said episode next week. Do you actually are we switching
Not next
weekly
week.
or is
No,
it...
no.
Okay.
Bi-weekly.
I just wanted to make sure since I know we had 2 in a row, but that was because of
Yeah, that's just because we were trying to get back
one.
on. We were just trying to get back up on order. Yeah, I saw Spartan. It looked good. All right. So we're gonna do some Reddit stories now, and yeah, maybe some ghost stories if we have any.
yeah.
Personal ghost stories, I mean. Hi.
I already.
Do you have any personal
Dark.
ghost stories?
I
Should
unfortunately
actually
only
do the
have
personal
one.
ghosts.
I only have
Why don't
one.
we do that then?
Period.
The Reddit?
Yes, let's do it.
And honestly, it's going to be a really short one because there's really not much to it in the first place.
Okay, well, that's fine. Those stories,
But like,
real
normal
life
night,
events.
you go to bed, you have weird dreams, but I'm pretty sure I woke up at one point at like 3 in the morning, I think it was.
Okay.
Like 3 or 4. And I noticed that I couldn't move anything at all except my head.
Okay. So,
Mostly my eyes. My head didn't
So-
really want to move that much.
so that would be sleep paralysis. Go on.
But when I looked down at the room to my door, there was like something. It felt like something was there, but I just couldn't see anything. And then I thought I felt something touch my foot,
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
like through the blanket and everything. And then, like 5 seconds later, it yanked a little bit. Like, pulled me at my front door.
Like out of bed.
Almost. I pulled myself back to the pillow and then started screaming.
I'm sorry, I
you don't-
traumatized you.
It didn't really traumatize me. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
It was me all along. Derpy.
And then the family walks in and is like, what the fuck happened?
So you met your sleep paralysis demon.
I doubt it's the last time I'm gonna see them.
most of the time, no. I never met mine. I don't think I have one.
I'm genuinely confused why it's not tracking my mouth right now.
May need to turn on lip sync.
Maybe.
I have lip sync turned on. Yeah, I don't have a sleep paralysis demon.
Well, I have it at
I
the
don't have
moment.
lip sync.
Just,
I just trust that it'll be good enough.
converting to normal. Where is lip sync? Lip sync. I don't see that option.
Weirdly enough, your story actually reminded me. I do have another ghost story technically, or it's
You're welcome.
supernatural story.
All right, it's under audio, and it's it's the third box for audio, the very bottom of audio.
Oh. Okay. There we go. That might work a little better.
There we go. Now you got your mouth moving. Yeah, Pi was being a
That's what I wanted.
Pi was being a ventriloquist for a bit, throwing their voice.
Just a little bit. You
Okay,
know, classic dumb shit being an NPC.
Okay, Sarah, your ghost story.
Yeah. Well, so my ghost story is so when I was like, I can't remember how old. It was definitely young. Like 3 to 6 is the range that I placed this in. Yet I can't actually think of when it was. Apparently, me and my sister were so afraid of something that was in our room that we asked our parents to solve it. So they gave us anti-ghost spray that they whipped up.
Sarah.
I will suplex you through a table, Derpy.
So, what was this
Yeah.
anti-ghost spray made out of?
Uh,
I
it
must
was
know.
like-
Probably bug spray and lemon water.
I think it was bug spray, lemon water, and dyed red.
That's quite interesting, to be honest.
Like, I also have a vivid memory of tasting the spray and recoiling from the taste, be like, ah.
You know, I kind of want to make.
Been raid.
Ugh. I've tasted rain by accident. Ugh.
Because yeah, it was placed inside like a small spray bottle that. It's just like, it's such a vivid memory now that I'm just like, wow, how did I not remember that?
That's what we should package and sell. We should make antique ghost spray just without the
Just
toxic
without the
shit.
ghosts.
Without the toxic shit. So that way, just do non-toxic shit only. Because you got people like me and Sarah who will try to attempt to taste it.
That's all that story. It's way simpler than the first one, like the Holy Spirit thing.
I mean, have you ever heard of knocking on your door for no reason?
Yeah, I do that with my desk all the time.
No. No, I just mean
Like something knocking,
like
without a reason.
yeah, like there, and when you open the door, there's just nothing there.
Yeah.
I have no memory of that, but
Have
I
you?
fully believe that could have happened.
I've had that happen to me once. The issue is it wasn't like a knock and dash because there was nowhere for them to run to. It happened in the closet.
There's like, Trippy, come back to the closet. You know you want to be here.
F.A., you want to be in the closet with us? Yeah, no, it just middle of the night. Knock, knock, knock. I gotta check the front door. But I hear the knocking again, but it's coming from behind me. And I'm like, huh. Okay. I open my closet door thinking it's my brother. Nobody there.
Mhm.
I close my door. I place something right up against it. Crawl back into bed and pretend I saw nothing.
You saw nothing.
Well, the worst part is my mom. When I woke up in the morning, my mom asked if anyone else heard a knocking on their closet. My brothers and sisters didn't, but me and my mom did.
Uh-huh.
And our closet, my are like almost connected. Just there's just a wall in between our closets.
So maybe the knocking came from inside the wall.
Da, da, da. Who
They're in the
knows?
walls. They're in the goddamn walls.
So yeah, that's my ghost story. Whatever it was, no idea. I do not want to know. Because that closet has a very dark history involving children dying in that closet.
Okay.
How much
Yeah.
I bet it was the children trying to play a prank.
I wouldn't be shocked considering the children still haunt the house apparently. Although they're not like malicious or anything, they just play with the kids' toys. From what my mom says. Like she'll be downstairs and then a ball from one of the boys' room or one of my nephew's rooms will come bouncing down the stairs, but my nephews are at school.
That's not creepy at all.
I know, right? And the ball was definitely in their bedroom too, so
Okay.
yeah, so it's like it's not like the boys left the ball outside and wind just happened to blow it down the stairs. Nah. Something definitely moved that ball. But apparently the father was a drunk and locked him in the closet and then went and hung himself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then they ended up starving to death in their closet. That was like,
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
basement is where he hung himself, and in the basement, that's where the most evil thing is in that entire house.
Yeah, the dad's in there.
the women.
You see, the issue is it's not the dad that's the evil thing. There's something more evil down there than the dad. So, and I personally believe that whatever that thing was, tormented the dad to the point of doing that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anyway, on to ghost stories from Reddit.
Sarah. Am I getting suplex yet?
Later.
Ooh, kinky. Doing
Really
it off
derpy.
stream. I like it.
I discussed this with someone recently. I'm, for some reason, very not sexual right now.
I just got to make everything sexual just because.
Yeah, apparently.
Isn't that basically what Ezzy does?
Yeah, but I don't do it
Yes.
as vulgar as Ezzy.
Yeah, as he does vulgarity, you do innuendo.
Yeah.
I was almost gonna see if Ezzy wanted to come on, but then I remembered he's sick. Like, actually sick.
Yeah, he's sick. But he was in YouTube chat. All right, let's go on with the Reddit stories.
Okay. Now this one is my paranormal stories from birth until present. Story 1, 2013. I was 15 years old. This was my first ever experience. My grandma on my mom's side recently passed away then. Me, my brother, and my mom would go visit my grandpa over the next couple years a lot more since he was lonelier. This
Okay.
probably happened 2 to 3 times. We would all be sitting in the living room, then we would hear the soft sounds of plates and cutlery moving around in the kitchen. We would all kind of look at each other, knowing it was out of the ordinary. But I think we all knew it was just Grandma.
So either grandma's unhappy or
Sarah.
I'll suplex you too.
or grandma wanted something.
That first one very much reads as residual.
Definitely residual.
Like, Grandma probably lived in that house for a while and did a lot of the cooking and cleaning, probably.
And then grandma went into the cupboards, saw that something was out of place, and got mad and started rattling the plates and stuff.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Okay, what's the next one?
Story 2, 2015. I was 17 at the time. Me and my friends decided to head out of my big city to explore a more abandoned building in a small town. The building was erected in the late 1800s.
Erected. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
I couldn't help it. Our childish minds.
Well, I mean, you said this last time, Derpy. You do slightly attempt to get me to break during these stories.
I do. And I do a pretty damn good job at it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, the building used to be a hospital, a senior home, and a mental asylum at points in its history.
It's a wreck,
The
and it used to be a mental asylum.
Yeah, it was an erect mental asylum.
Must have
That's
been
what
some
she
freaky. That must have been really freaky there.
Yeah. The group of people that went were made up of me, my girlfriend, her cousin, and my friend. Within minutes of walking around inside, we all stopped in our tracks as we heard a loud, deep moan.
Hmm,
Yep.
that's not
It's all,
sus.
it's all adding up. It's all definitely adding up.
That's
I
not
thi-
sus at all.
I think my views on this is correct. Loud, deep moan, mental asylum, erect. It's
Hmm.
all coming together now.
There was no wind at the time, and the sound was clearly heard right in front of us. We all left immediately out of fear.
Accurate.
Understandable, because pretty soon they're going to start hearing macaroni noises.
Fucking macaroni noises.
Is there more?
Yeah,
I'm wondering what-
there's like
I hope there's more macaroni
there's 6
noises.
stories. There's 6 stories in total, but that
I'm
was
sorry.
the end of the second story.
I'm sorry.
No. Okay.
That'll be fine. Story 3, 2016. I'm 18 now. I was camping with my girlfriend, the same girlfriend as in the last story.
Yeah, maybe they should
My
go back to the
brother-
mental asylum now. They're now legal age.
My brother and our friend were also there. I had a very emotional dream of some being coming to me, explaining something
That
bad had happened, but that everything was gonna be okay. The next morning, we packed up, and after an hour or two, I didn't think anything of the dream. Just as we were getting out of the mountain into the foothills, a cop pulls us over with an unmarked car behind him.
okay.
A social worker asked me and my brother's names and pulls us aside to explain that our mom had passed away last night. Since I was the only one with a license, it was the longest 2-hour drive home of my life, that's for sure.
I wouldn't say that's more of a.
It was more psychic than ghost.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah, that's more psychic than ghost.
Now on to story 4. 2017. 19 years old, me and my girlfriend, still the same one as before, head out for a camping trip to the mountains. Bad things seem to happen when you go out on camping trips, my dude. Why are you going out?
You know what?
It's
Camping is
almost
very
like
relaxing.
they just wanted to, I don't know, experience leaves on their butt.
I mean, why not? I like camping. I know, you wouldn't expect that from me, would you?
No, actually, yeah, I would. You're derpy.
I also like kayaking, mountain climbing.
Whitewater rafting.
Yeah, whitewater. No. Whitewater kayaking, actually.
Same difference.
Huh.
One's more dangerous than the other.
That's what they want you to think.
Kayaking's more dangerous.
It's because you could do a barrel roll.
Barrel roll! But go on.
So they were heading out for the camping trip to the mountains. They were only 20 minutes outside of town in the prairies, and they saw a semi coming from a mile away. They
Why
got
didn't they
this
dodge?
urgent feeling that something wrong is going to happen. As he was so far away, I had lots of time to explain to my girlfriend about the sudden sense that came over me. We were 5 to 10 seconds from crossing paths. I noticed he starts to drift into my lane. It's a single lane highway. By the time we passed each other, he was directly in the middle of both lanes. Lucky for me, I was already paired and we were over on the shoulder. She looked at me after in disbelief. Yes, very much
This is definitely premonition. Like,
OP seems to have fucking psychic abilities.
yeah, like,
All right, what the fuck happened to my head? Anyways,
definitely, like,
it's just-
wow.
All right.
Like, I know exactly what he's going through too. All right, let's go. Because that
This
one's definitely
story-
psychic.
Man, this story. 2019. Guy was 21 now. I'm home alone, and at this point, I'm a full believer.
A full believer of what?
Ghost,
He's
probably,
nuts.
and supernatural.
Okay. Understandable. I would be too at this point. Even though I am.
I had not yet received any signs from my mom. I'm lying in my bed trying to talk with her, hoping maybe she can hear me. I asked her to knock on the wall for me. It was a more rough point in my life, so for whatever reason, I was in tears at that time. I gave up and tried to go to sleep. About 30 seconds later, I heard a loud...
A loud what?
30 seconds later, I hear a loud knuckle to the wall. To wall sound in my room. So they chose, instead of writing, I heard a knock on my wall, they went, a loud knuckle sound.
I gotta figure out what this a loud knuckle sound sounds like. Give me a moment. Ah, my fucking
I'm
hand!
pretty sure it sounds something like
Sounded like a knock to me. But, ow, my fucking hand!
yeah, it hurts. A
Why'd
lot.
you hit it hard enough to hurt?
I didn't think that far ahead.
Obviously you didn't. Anyway, they took that as as a sign from their mom. They felt a lot more comfortable after that. I would feel more comfortable, but also knowing everything we've read and talked about over all the episodes so far, I'm just kind of like, what? Can we really trust that was your mom?
I know, right? Like, evil things will mimic other things or give you what you want to put you at a false sense of ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'd be paranoid. Like, where the fuck did that not come from?
Yeah, but since the next story is like 5 years later,
Okay.
I'm just like,
So it's
I
Jeff.
highly it was the mom, since otherwise they'd have more stories to tell.
Yeah.
Story 6, 2024. I'm now 25 years old. My grandpa had just passed away 3 weeks earlier. My dad's over at my place visiting. We're watching some hockey when all of a sudden one of us starts to whistle. Within
Okay.
seconds, we're both whistling random nonsense tunes. But then we hear a third whistle when no one else was in the house. My fiance, now this isn't the girlfriend from before, this is actually a different girl now, which fully tracks between the story 4 being like talking about girlfriend, story 5 being I was in a dark time in my life. I'm like, that reads as
She
yeah, you
left
didn't
him.
have the girlfriend.
Yeah. In 5 years. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, the fiance was out running errands. We started to whistle back, and something kept whistling back loudly at us, mimicking our whistles perfectly. This went on for a good 2 to 3 minutes. It was whistling just as loud as us, but in a different area of the house. My grandpa was known to be a whistler, but I never got a good nor bad sense about it. And then they say,
Wait,
I'll leave this up to you guys to decide if it was my grandpa or something malevolent.
Wait. Did the dad also hear it?
This implies yes. They
I'm
say
gonna
my dad was a complete non-believer at the time, but this really opened up his eyes. It was his first paranormal experience.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's the grandpa.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. This just feels very faked.
If it is real, I'm gonna say it's the grandpa. It doesn't.
I
Seem
don't
like-
want to downplay the story, but it just something about how it's told is that it's fake.
Could be.
That's always a possibility. Like, I can definitely see the other stories being real. It's like kind of iffy about the knock. It could be mind playing tricks, giving him what he wants to hear, but it's also unlikely at the same time, unless you've got like I forget what the medical term is for the audio, where you hear it's not schizophrenia, but because schizophrenia is permanent. This is just like a temporary thing where you hear auditory hallucinations for a short period of your life.
I believe that's called tinnitus.
No. Tinnitus is a ringing in your ears.
Tinnitus is usually ringing.
But no, it wouldn't be tinnitus either, because tinnitus is actually long term. I will figure it out later, because I know it, because I read it before. I read about it, and I'm drawing a blank. That last one. That last one is kind of iffy, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like, I can see all the others being, that definitely happened. Because premonition is a very, or I should say, intuition. It would be more like with his.
The semi one is very much believable as a simply. You kind of notice they were already doing something
weird from
their lane
from over a mile.
Away.
Yeah. And honestly, when it comes to the mom, before they left, there sometimes your brain you pick up things that you don't even realize that you've picked up.
Yeah.
And then that's why and then when your brain finally shuts down to go to sleep, that's when that dream happens, letting you know, hey, you were too busy for me to be like, hey, this is what I saw, so it gives it as a dream.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Because that kind of stuff does happen. Like, people like there's been times where like people have like said, "Hey, this building's going to collapse," and then it collapsed. Maybe you're and they've people have kind of figured, maybe it's your brain picking up like, "Hey, the building's creaking abnormally," or something's out of place with the building, or a crack has formed in a location that wasn't there before. And you just mentally you didn't notice it, but your brain did.
Yeah, that was the end of those stories.
That's that's quite interesting though. Like definitely like that one. That last one was definitely like a tough one because yes, spirits and spiritual beings can make noises like whistling and all that.
Yeah.
They can. But for them to not sense the presence, that part's a bit odd.
It did say it was in another room.
Even then, like, I'm sorry, but if I heard whistling in another room and there's only 2 people in the house, I'm going to be on edge.
Yeah, be on edge and search the house.
Yeah. And for them to just not be on edge from it, that is a bit odd. Like, even if you are used to it, to, like, paranormal activity happening around you, you're still on edge because there's always going to be that, what if it's not this? What if it's not paranormal? What if there's somebody here?
Yeah.
That what if will always stay in the back of your mind when you hear something that you shouldn't be hearing, or when something's happening that shouldn't be happening. So that one I'm kind of leaning in between, because it could be real, could be fake.
Yeah.
The car thing, I'm thinking that's more intuition. They were able to tell something was off from a far distance, and intuition took over from there. Same thing when it comes to the mom. Like, not gonna doubt that they don't have psychic abilities, because a lot of that is intuition.
And a lot of it could be confirmation bias, too.
That too.
Because you think you're actually doing it, but it's really just you having really good luck with either guessing when it's going to happen and you're not actually doing it, or something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the moans in the mental asylum that was erect. That right there.
We're not living that one down.
If they definitely stayed any longer than what they did, they definitely would have heard macaroni noises.
Yep.
From who? We don't know. For all we know, that deep moan could have been a homeless person.
They said it was directly in front of them.
It was directly, like right in their face, directly in front.
That's what they made it. That's how the story read.
That is one kinky ass ghost.
Yep.
Cheeky motherfuckers.
Doing it right in front of people? Like, oh my god, ghost. Get a room.
I mean, it was a senior home, so maybe it was just some seniors fucking in the hallway.
You know what?
Probably. Let's be real. They do that.
If anyone knows, like, what senior homes are like, senior homes have the highest rate of STD transfer out of even like brothels. Yeah. Yeah, the seniors are
People
getting
think
it on.
They get it on.
They get it on to the extreme. To the point of where, yeah, a good portion of people living in senior assisted living homes like that are for seniors only, most likely got STDs.
Yeah.
It is a rampant issue in senior living homes. Oh God, I just imagine what I was like curious. What would it sound like if some old people were just doing it? Oh God, no.
There'd be why.
Don't stop it. You don't want to know
Stop
what
it.
it sounds like
Get some
grandma
help.
doing things doing.
I no. Why?
You know why I said it?
You wanted me to imagine it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Fuck you. But for you guys on stream, we're gonna end it off right here. And we will come back. We will be streaming the 5th episode of Ghostly Gossips on February 8th. Yeah. February 8th. And we will have the Benson Hotel, Heathman Hotel, and the Pioneer Courthouse, maybe.
And some more Reddit stories.
Yes, and more Reddit stories. And we may or may not have a guest. We don't know yet. We'll figure that out. I will let you guys know in Discord. But till then, have a wonderful night. Oh, wait. If you guys have got ghost stories that you want to tell, let us know. Send them to us. We will gladly use them and credit you.
We're willing to read them out.
Wait, do I have a channel for it?
No.
Maybe.
I'm checking. Okay, I do not, but I can easily make one. I will make a channel for you guys to post your ghost stories. Post them in there. We'll go through them every week and pick out stories that will be perfect for the stream and the podcast. Till then, guys, I love you all, and I will see you guys tonight for Phasmophobia, because I want to play Phasmo. Bye.
Bye.